Hello, welcome to Between the Studs, the best Lego podcast here at Atlanta Brick Co. at 9:30 on Friday. Today I've got two special guests. I've got Jack and Dawn. You will recognize them from season 2 of Lego Masters, some friends of mine. So good to see you guys. How you doing?
Doing great.
Doing great.
That's awesome. Let me start with the questions here. We've got a couple that we've gone over before, and we'll ask some. This is one of my favorite questions because it's just really positive, upbeat. Is what was the best moment for you guys being on Lego Masters? What was the one moment that really stuck out to you as an awesome experience?
For me, the most awesome experience was just all the time we got to spend with all the other contestants. Because especially during the time we were doing this, everybody was so removed from everything else, and just having the ability to interact with some of the nicest individuals, the most caring individuals, and the most talented individuals you could think of. Just that was my experience.
There you go. That's awesome. What about you, Jack?
What she said. No. Just the camaraderie that we had. I mean, just a brief time that we were there, I still felt that camaraderie, and it was just amazing. The only place I've ever been where I've had that camaraderie with any other group of people was when I was in the military. And it's because you experience the same things in a general way. And it kind of makes you a tighter group.
Exactly. Yeah, I actually definitely resonate with you guys. One of the big takeaways, I think everybody has said this that I've spoken with, and every contestant says the same thing. It's like that kind of family vibe that we all have after this experience is just so wonderful and awesome. And it's like I also like, Jack, how you mentioned it's like a military is a similar vibe. It's like it almost felt like it was such a difficult schedule, so challenging, and so like a shared trauma that it was like we made through it together. It was all like one big team versus all these crazy challenges. So it was really cool. So here's a question, and it's kind of refers to our season, but also to other seasons as well. What was the most interesting Lego Masters challenge that you have seen so far? And it doesn't have to be from our season. It could be from Australia. It could be from the previous United States season. What was a Lego Masters challenge that you really liked and would have liked to have tried or already did try?
Well, I think for me, I'm going to go first. I'm going to just jump in, Jack. Sorry.
Go for it, Don.
I really liked one of the episodes that they did in Australia this season that just finished up today or whatever, whenever it is finishing up, is they got a song title. And they had to
really cool.
build on a song about the song. Somebody had to guess the song title who didn't have a clue as to what the options were. I think that was kind of neat. I love music, and I love singing. Nobody loves to hear me sing, but I love singing. So I didn't get the same experience Boone got. But that's okay.
They should have asked you to sing on the show. They missed out. Oh well.
I know they didn't. But yeah, so that was kind of cool. There are so many challenges that it really was hard to pick one of those. But I love music, and to be able to incorporate that so that you could figure out what is this song title, was really neat. Somebody who knows music but didn't have any clue as to what people, and the options was.
That's mind blowing. I didn't even know that was a challenge, so that's fantastic. What about you, Jack?
I really liked the one where you defied gravity and hung off the wall, on a couple of studs, and then projected out horizontally from it. I love that. I think that was amazing.
Yeah,
and I'd love to have participated in that one.
That was a tough challenge. That was, unfortunately, it was really late in the season, so only a few people got to participate in it, but it was really cool. One of my favorite questions is, what's your favorite challenge? Just what was their favorite experience from the show? And that is often their favorite one is that hanging one, just because it was really dynamic. But so our season was very special in that way.
What was your favorite challenge, or what is your favorite throughout?
Hey, I'm getting interviewed on my channel. This is awesome. Okay. So I would say probably the hat challenge was one of my favorites. It's just because, and I think it was one of Lauren's too, because It was pretty early on. We had lost a few teams, but we still had most of the teams there, and so we still were really in that family zone. And everyone was just, it was such a crazy challenge, putting stuff on your head and trying to have it hold together as you're walking down the road. It was really crazy. So that was probably the peak enjoyment, and after that I was just like tired trying to survive. So that was really fun. So many amazing challenges and mind-blowing stuff in Lego Masters in our season and other ones.
Right.
Great responses, guys. Really, that's some very original responses too, because we tend to have our favorites and we stick with them, but that's very new perspective. I love it. I know it's hard to pick a favorite, and we all had a great time together. I mean, really, everybody did. But did you guys particularly enjoy hanging out with any of the other teams or just individual teammates that you got to interact with? Or can you pick a favorite? Is that even possible? Like, because I know there's a few that I particularly hung out with just because of proximity, but also because of, shared interest. Did you guys particularly match with anyone?
It's hard because the way we were set up, especially like in the green room, I didn't know who was on the other side of the curtain for the most part, which included you guys.
Yeah, we were on opposite sides, so we didn't get to hang out quite as much, I think. But
we had Caleb and Jacob on one side of us, and we had Natalie and Michelle on the other side of us, and that was so awesome. I mean, there was a miscommunication in food delivery, and was it Caleb or was it Jacob? One of the twins.
Caleb.
Yeah. Jack didn't get his, so he was offering his food to Jack.
Oh wow, that's so nice. That's awesome.
And got fed,
Exactly. Malnourished. Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta have something to go on, otherwise you're just too hungry and hangry, and
there was a bit of hangry going on, probably, but
a lot of that going on. We were all hungry.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Right. But all in all, I can't really pick a favorite. I mean, I have different shared experiences with each of the different teams or contestants, but it was, when I saw you and your brother come into Brick Rodeo, I was holding a case of water because I had just gone to the store because it was 95 degrees in Texas.
Yeah.
I literally dropped everything and ran over because you were the first people I saw since we were eliminated.
Wow. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, it was so good to hang out, and we're sorry that Jack wasn't able to make it, but it was such a great experience at conventions. But we're looking forward in just a few weeks to a super exciting convention close to your neck of the woods, right? So you're up in the Midwest area, so.
Yep. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be so amazing.
I am too. I'm not as fortunate and don't get to travel quite as much as other people. So I'm really looking forward to it, though. I can't wait.
It's going to be great, and it'll be great to see you too, especially. It'll be really fun. Being on Lego Masters, there's a pretty good chance that you might get recognized out in the wild. Can you guys remember a specific instance of that, and or in a particularly unusual instance of that to share?
You probably had more than I have, Jack.
Well, I live in a pretty small town.
Okay.
And last 4th of July, we have a big parade every 4th of July in this little town, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the business district, which is like walking distance from my house, people all lined up, and I had a couple people stop me and say, "Oh, I saw you on Lego Masters," and it was so great. And one of them turned out that I actually knew him, but I didn't recognize him. It'd been several years since I saw him, and he had changed so much.
Wow.
For the better. And then we were standing there talking with our kids, and somebody who just was standing next to us says, "Oh yeah, I saw you on Lego Masters. That was great," and asked how it was. And I mean, the whole gauntlet of questions. But as a rule, I mean, I was kind of disappointed. This is my own ego, because I do live in a small town. I thought more people would have recognized me than that, but I don't go anywhere anyway in town, so it doesn't make a big deal.
Yeah, if you're in a small town and you don't travel a lot, you might not see quite as many people that have seen the show. So
right.
Yeah, for me, most recently, I have a terrible allergic reaction to poison ivy, so I had to go to the doctor.
Wow.
about 3 weeks ago. And I walk in and the receptionist turns to the other guy. She was a Lego master.
That's awesome, right? You go to the doctor for some sort of allergy, and they're like, oh.
Yeah. So I stood there. It's like it took forever to get to see the doctor because I'm answering all these questions, which is fine, But it's like, I mean, I have such a bad reaction that it's like I need my drugs now. It was awful. It was awful. And I know I know when I get it, I have to get several layers of treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you needed medical attention.
But other than that, I mean, I can be standing in the Lego section at the store. You can walk right past me, not a clue, which is fine. That's fine too. But every once in a while, like Jack says, it'd kind of be nice to be recognized a little more. But I mean, I actually went to a brick reseller, and I don't think he knew who I was.
Oh, wow!
It's like that's okay.
So I know that I've only been recognized one time as I was going in just as a shopper to the Lego store. And the other times I'll be walking around shopping and no one will say a peep, not even the employees. And so it's like sometimes they're just not thinking about, the last season's show, although I think it will be more as the next season rolls out. But so it's like sometimes you can still be under the radar. But I think looking forward to Brickworld Chicago, I don't think there will be a single person who doesn't know who you are. It's just like that all these people, that's the people who watch Lego Masters. They're going to be really excited. So a lot to look forward to.
I'm sorry.
Go for it.
When I was at the hospital, because I go to the cancer hospital, and I was a rock star there. I've handed out several cards and did some autographs while I was there, and it was kind of funny and it's just something different. I went to a Lego store in Columbus, and I was asking the girl. I was just kind of fishing around, and this was right after, I don't know, a couple episodes had aired, and I think we'd been eliminated already. I said, "Have you ever seen Lego Masters?" And the girl looked at me and she says, "Lego Masters, what's that?" And she looked in the Lego store, and it's like, what?
Exactly.
So funny.
Sometimes they know, and sometimes they do not. So it's interesting.
But that was it was funny. I thought, and I know, I mean, a lot of people probably don't, but I thought, well, if you work at a Lego store, surely you're
required watching for a Lego employee, I think, right? Is there anything Lego related or even non-Lego related that you might have learned on Lego Masters that you like to apply nowadays?
Oh. So much.
So much?
After watching everybody else, it's like I've tried to be a sponge and grab everything I can, because I realized how very little I knew.
Oh yeah, the huge wealth of knowledge in that room, right?
It amazes me, and I'm still trying different techniques, and I've never been on YouTube so much in my life as I have trying to research stuff now.
Exactly.
For me, I think just not being afraid to try something different. Just in life in general, because this going on the show, I mean, every time we go through an interview for the process for the interviews and to get selected, we do all that, and then Jack and I would call each other afterwards like, well, I guess we're done at that point, and as we kept going, it's like you just never know. You never know what life is going to give you, and so take full advantage. There's one, I just came back from a trip from California. It was a once in a lifetime opportunity, so it's just these things that you grab life by the horns, whether it's COVID, non-COVID, whatever, just take whatever opportunity it presents you, because you just never know, and we had a friend who passed away last month.
Oh, I'm so
at
sorry.
29 years, not even just be shy of 29 years old. So you never know what life's going to serve you. You never know what the next turn's going to be, so take full advantage of it. That's
exactly
kind of what I do.
Sage advice for sure. I really like just keep knocking on doors and see which one's open, right? That's awesome. Very cool.
I'll just peek through the windows. What the heck?
Exactly. Yeah. Try the doorknob. Don't even. Yeah.
That's right.
There you go. That's awesome.
Right in.
Yeah, you're living proof of that. Just to keep trying. So just see what opportunities present themselves. That's amazing. So. It never fails to have like really inspirational stuff come from whoever Lego Masters I'm interviewing. So I'm just like, thank you guys. That's awesome. That's my Monday motivation today. That's fantastic.
Mark's Monday motivations, right?
There we go.
These interviews are actually pretty inspiring. I'm really enjoying all of this.
Everybody in this group is inspiring. Everybody. It's just so much fun.
Fantastic. Alrighty, let's see. So here's a good one. You talked a little bit about the just the interview process and how crazy that was. But knowing that you might get on Lego Masters, you never know until the final second, of course. Did you do anything to prepare? Did you guys break out the bricks and start practicing some techniques? Did you guys plan on anything like that? Because I asked the other teams this and they had a couple cool answers. Steven and I did not do much. I wish we had done more. But did you guys do anything to plan or prepare for Lego Masters?
Somewhat. I mean, I built more. I tried working on some techniques, although not nearly enough. There's so many more techniques that I didn't have the opportunity to because each time you do it, it's like, well, we probably aren't going to make it anyway. Not that it's not a why bother, but it's like it wasn't pressing.
Yeah.
Although my daughter at the time was here at the time, and so in that process, she bought me a Lego set that had motors in it.
Nice. Yes.
Because we had both commented that, man, we don't know anything about motors. So she bought me a Lego set with motors in it, just in case, Mom.
Exactly.
And there were so few people we could even let know that this was happening. There was a potential, but with him coming into town, it was kind of, I couldn't really say, oh, he just, and it was like we blocked off the dining room and nobody could use the internet but us. And it was kind of, I kind of had to say, hey, this is why.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's the motor set is a great idea because our season was particularly motor centric. So great to at least get a little working experience how to start it. It's like you got to have the basics at least. So go ahead, Jack.
For me, it got out to my grandson that I was auditioning for the show. Okay, I had a very, very minimal amount of Lego. So my grandson brings me a tub over, says, "Here, Papa, you need to practice with this." And I thought that was so cool, though. And it meant so much to me that he thought that and did that.
That's amazing.
So he just loaned you a big tub of pieces then, right? That's awesome.
Right.
That is sweet. They're rooting for you. They're making sure you got all you need to succeed. That's awesome. Very cool. All right, so one last question before we get into the season 3 discussion or speculation because it hasn't come out yet. But so any quick advice for LM hopefuls who might want to apply to be on the show? Do you have any little words of wisdom? Because we've already gotten plenty of that. But do you have any little last nuggets for the people looking at future seasons of Lego Masters, possibly?
Keep trying.
2 things. Go ahead, Jack.
You never know where you're going to go. I mean, like Dawn said, I didn't believe we would ever make it, to be quite honest. But I didn't quit trying.
Exactly.
Just for that, I mean, and you never know what's in store. You just don't.
Exactly. Yeah, keep trying. Never know what's going to come around the next bend.
Exactly. I would say if you're really serious about trying out, make sure you have a good rapport with your partner as best you can. I mean, it helps to have some kind of background. We have a backstory. We have 60 plus years of a backstory.
Exactly.
And then to work on your NPU because they will not. Even though there's 5 million bricks in the brick pit, they will not have every single thing you're looking for.
Exactly.
And that was And then have your storytelling.
Yeah,
I think storytelling is a big thing, and both Jack and I have spoken in public, but when you get in front of Will Arnett, Amy, and Jamie, you get so tongue-tied, you forget everything you had in your brain. I mean, I had things written down and I couldn't even say it.
Yep. I know that right off the bat, I couldn't get a word out to save my life. So and you get used to it after the first episode, but it's gonna knock your socks off beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's and don't say, oh, well, I've done public speaking. Well, so have we. I have acted on a stage. I have done campaigning for people. So I've spoken in front of large groups of people, and so have Jack. Mm-hmm. It is not the same. It is not the same.
Nothing could prepare you for that, really.
And then you throw a mix, and that doesn't help anything either, or multiple cameras, because you never know where they're coming from.
Exactly.
They all roll over and they all surround you, and it's over. You just try and say something intelligent.
We're sitting here doing something. I don't remember what we were built, which build it was, but we're doing something, and I glance up, kind of look up, and I'm like, get that camera out of here. I was like, oh my gosh.
Trying to focus.
No.
Oh.
The Lego Masters experience, unlike any other. Alrighty. Well, speaking of the Lego Masters experience, we've got an entirely new season coming out very soon. We're about halfway through the month as of filming this, and so we've got a few more weeks till it drops. I don't think they've released the cast list for us yet. However, that might come out by Friday when this is uploaded.
As of the taping of this, we do not know. It has not been confirmed.
Yeah, we don't officially know
who is on the cast.
Yeah, we have suspicions, but nothing else.
I'm like, and of course they're not saying anything.
Exactly. But so we did get a teaser video, and quite a revealing teaser video, I will say, more than our season, I feel like. I could be wrong. But because they got a full cast reveal. I don't think we got that, because they would have picked out more of us, I feel like, but
I thought we did, but before they released it, they did, because our sister asked, because she wasn't sure it was me, because they had my hair done a little bit different than I usually do it, but she says, whoever it is standing next to my brother. He was unmistakable.
She recognized Jack for sure. She wasn't quite sure about the hairstyle for you, Dawn. That's hilarious. So, that is great. So, but yes, seeing that teaser, have you guys both seen that little 30-second, 40-second video on that? Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Cool. Did you guys see anything in there that was particularly interesting? Because I saw a few tidbits. What did you guys?
I saw that it looks like there is going to be a tie-in with something being released soon.
Exactly. Yes. Maybe involving dinosaurs or something. Yeah. Looking forward to that. I did see it was pretty clear to be Chris Pratt as well. So very excited stuff. I have a question here about that. So originally, when I started writing the questions for these interviews, I said, "Do you think we'll see any celebrity cameos?" And obviously, we've seen a big one so far. But do you think now in season 1 they had 2 or 3 different celebrities show up, and they even had a few Zoom edited in ones for our season. So we got Ken Jeong and a few other ones. So do you think we'll see any other celebrities for season 3? And if you were to pick one, who would it be?
I think there will be. I think there will be at least one more.
Yeah.
Who? I'm not sure, because I'm so far out of what's coming up. In some of the popular TV shows or new movies coming out. But
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be some kind of a tie-in again.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to Google up whatever Fox is coming up with next.
Exactly. Fox or Disney, something with those, yeah.
Yeah, but I think there will be at least one more besides the Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like a good call. What about you, Jack? Do you have anything in mind?
No, I figure there'll be at least 2.
At least 2, okay. So
but I can't really think of who they would be yet.
Mhm.
I kind of agree with Dawn. Let's see what their lineup's going to be on Fox.
Exactly. It'll probably be cool. We'll see. Because if they could get Chris Pratt, that means maybe they got some more bigger celebrity interest. You never know. So
Right.
I'm open for Brad Pitt. Fingers crossed. We'll see. That would be that would be pretty cool. One other question about season 3 in general. Season 1, I would say it's fair to say, is the storytelling, very aesthetic-driven challenges. Season 2, I feel like, despite having a lot of story concerns, they were really challenging us in the technical. and the motors and the Technic and all that stuff. So looking at season 3, we have only seen glimpses at the challenges, but just based on those first 2 seasons, what do you think season 3 is going to look like? Is it going to be story driven, technical, or kind of a blend of the two? What are you guys thinking?
I think there's going to be a blend, but it's still they're still looking at that technical, whether it's how many bricks per minute. You know, you have to make something big in a short amount of time, because I do know they had several of those in Australia again, you know, where they had 10 hours, you know, that's nothing. There's no time.
It goes so fast.
Yes, it goes so fast, you know, so they only had 10 hours to do something massive. So I think it's going to be, there's going to be there's going to be a lot of technical stuff in there. That's just what drives everything, you know. There's got to, you know, whether it's motion or whatever, so they want the technical in there. Obviously there's always story in there, but it's going to be like the background, like in our season, you know. But I think also it's going to be shorter build times.
Really? Well, yeah, that's a good
tracked it in to put the pressure on them even more so than what you already experience.
Turn the screws a little more, right?
Tighter.
Ooh, what about you, Jack?
And I agree, it's going to be a good mesh of both. I think there'll be definitely a lot more technical stuff. And who knows what they might have already come out with as far as new stuff. I mean,
engineering,
crack at it, obviously. Be it motors or motion sensors or light sensors or color sensors or whatever. So I'm kind of looking forward to see where that goes, because I'm sure that something's going to pop out here.
Exactly. It's going to be really cool, whatever it is, right? So,
absolutely.
Exactly. Now, that's most of the questions I had today, but I would be remiss, Dawn, if I did not bring up that beautiful mosaic behind you. Can you tell us just a little bit about that before we move on to anything else? I wanted to hear about that. It looks like beautiful sunflowers.
Thank you. This is a project that I was approached, well, it wasn't just me, but other builders as well were approached to Brick Rodeo. And then we got some information and contacted some more, probably in September, I think it was, asking if we would create something, because there's a fine arts museum in the Houston area that is doing a brick show. And so there's several Lego Masters, there's other builders from Texas that are have things in there, and this is what one of the things that I've created. The other one is sitting in the other room, about 75% done, and I got to get it shipped out this week.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that one, but
build the crate for it. Different style of building than I'm used to, but I could do it.
Yeah. Wow.
So this is 6 48 by 48 base plates is how the size of it. So it's a 2x3, so it's like 4 feet tall.
It's big.
Yes, it's big. It's big. Oh. Yeah. So and you know, so I've been thinking about the you know, I love sunflowers. Our mom loved sunflowers. His wife loves sunflowers. So it kind of all flows together. And so it's like, I just started playing and like, all right, this is what I'm going to make. And so I'm making a variety of styles in my sunflowers and the background and everything. And it I got to a certain point and it's like, what did I get myself into?
Well, it looks amazing, and it's deceptively like it's one of those things where it seems like it's the same size even if you're far away, because it's really cool, and I did not realize it was that large.
How big it is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That is great.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought, well, this, like I said, it's going to get shipped out this week to Texas, so I can't take it to Brick World Chicago.
Yeah.
And it's like, I really wanted to, be able to show it, in person.
I want to take a selfie with it and be like, look, I'm in the sunflowers and Legoland. It's like,
and it's like, I really wanted to be able, but it just didn't work out for this. So after that's done, it will come to shows with me for a little bit.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, the museum will love it, I'm sure. So
just used a few different techniques I'd never done before, and some that I'm like, is it gonna work? It works.
Yeah, it looks great from here. It looks amazing. So, and then I also, this wasn't on my questions, but I really wanted to quickly talk about. I've saw some of your creations on the Brothers Brick, and I'm so proud of you for getting onto that very prestigious blog. So congratulations on that. And have you been really like exploring the floral side of Lego for the last few bit? And can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I love flowers. So yeah, so I was just playing with something and I saw something. I was ordering some parts on Lego.com, the bricks and pieces, back before they changed the format. So
Yeah. We don't. Anyway. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, breathe. And I'm looking at these pieces like I could use that. And so, so I ordered, half a dozen or whatever. And I didn't even know what they were.
Yeah.
For what the real name was, because Lego's titles don't mean anything,
Yeah.
They're like the names Lego give. And so I started playing with it, and it ends up that it's the Doctor Strange capes.
Oh, yeah.
This is a different one. This is not the same build, but it's these Doctor Strange capes. And so it's like, well, I turn them upside down. Well, they don't just turn upside down because they're designed to have a mini figurehead on one part. So the size is way weird. So you really have to play with that,
Yeah.
And I especially the long winter we have here in Michigan, I was so looking forward to flowers in the spring. So I started building flowers. Well, then my lug had the build challenge for the May meeting was spring flowers. So I just started playing around, and so I was building all kinds of flowers, and that was after I had done this. And the other build that I'm sending is also another flower build, another mosaic that's a flower.
Wow. Yeah.
So, so it's like, it's like, I think I found my niche.
Well, sometimes you get on a kick and you just can't stop and you're just enjoying it and it's great. So it's like you just have a phase, so it's awesome.
Right. And so I'm actually bringing the piece that was featured on Brothers Brick, and I got I can't remember the name of the magazine. I had a magazine contact me from Brazil. They want to feature it as well.
Yes, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Pardon me?
I think I know what you're talking about. I've seen it. Is it Hispa Brick or something like that? Or there's a couple down there.
It was like, I can't remember what it's called. They sent me a message. I'll have to find it something and we could talk about that later. But yeah. So I just they want more pictures of it and all that. And I'm like, well, that was messaging me while I'm in California. It's like, well, that's sitting in my kitchen right now in Michigan. There's not much I can do. Yeah, give me a little bit of time. Let me get these things shipped out first. Priorities here. But yeah, so I've got a collection of botanicals that I'm going to bring to Chicago.
That's awesome.
So Flower Power, no shortage of opportunities to share these creations too. So that's really cool. But Jack, I wanted to bring up something that just came to mind. A while ago, we're friends on Facebook. We're friends with pretty much all season 2 is on Facebook or Instagram or something. And I saw you post pictures of what looked like a fruit pirate ship. Is that correct? Or like a fruit sculpture? So now that kind of blew my mind. And where did you learn your fruit ninja skills? Like, where did that all start? Because that is really special. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
It started some years ago. I do a little wood carving. And so I decided to start carving watermelons every 4th of July. Yeah. And every 4th of July, it's something different. I've done a turtle. I've done faces with bald melon hanging out of it and things like that. And so I decided to do a sailboat. And using the watermelon as the base of the boat and the sails. And then I balled up melon and put all in it and everything. And I thought, well, I had to name the boat. So it was LM2 Castaway.
There you go.
It was just something every year I kind of look at a watermelon and it sounds stupid, but I kind of let it dictate what it wants to be. It's kind of like looking at some of the select parts in some of the different Lego sets and saying, well, I could use that for this or do that with that. And that's how it played out. And it was just something I thought I'd try, and I actually pulled it off.
It looked fantastic. So that is really cool.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I really like the point that you brought up where it's like you almost let the melon decide what it's going to be. You can kind of see it in the grain. Like a good wood carver will see a piece of wood and immediately know what they want to do. Or a Lego builder will see cool parts and like, I got to make this creation. Or like you'll be on Bricks and Pieces, you'll get those capes and then suddenly you've got a flower. It's like, so that's really cool. That's awesome. Well, yeah, so super inspirational talking to both of you. Really looking forward to seeing you at Brickworld Chicago. For those who are watching, definitely if you're able to, anywhere in the Chicago area around Father's Day weekend in June, we will all be there having a great time. So come by, get a signature photo. We'll be there, and definitely look these two up on their social medias. We'll have those linked in the description. And thank you so much for watching and sticking with us. Don't forget to hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons on your way out. We sure appreciate it. We'll have plenty more LEGO Masters interviews coming up throughout the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. Bye-bye.